describe what you guys ran into tonight?
Yeah, look, we got shaded in all areas. We had enough ball down near down near defensive end, and got to give credit to their defence. Look, we have too many penalties. We got a couple of yellow cards. Why the first one didn't necessarily hurt us. Would have taken a fair bit of juice out of us, and even the second one, when you haven't got a hooker, you've got to find innovative ways of winning the ball and sort of can't attack in the structures that we want to. So, so ultimately they hurt, but I'll say the All Blacks shaded us everywhere tonight, and that's the result.
After a big kind of character to come back the way you guys did in Melbourne, can you put your finger on why the disparity was so large a week later?
Well, we lost collisions. We fell off way too many tackles, 29 tonight, I think. We turned over the ball, and so I think the All Blacks were better tonight. So
any positives?
I'll tell you in about 2 or 3 days when I've looked through the footage. There's always some positives, and there'll be some good individual performances in there, but as a group, it's not good enough.
Just kind of set you back a bit, given the sort of progress we saw both in Melbourne and also throughout the Rugby Championship.
Look, it's probably sums us up a bit. I've talked about it, and we're aware we need to be at our absolute best every week to win. And if you're not against a good side like New Zealand, you get hurt. So, and we weren't good enough tonight.
James, you thoughts to that?
I thought Ren's wrapped it up pretty well. I think the disappointing thing is we didn't back up last week's gutsy performance, and you can look at all areas of the game. Probably came second, but one that hurt us the most was just the collision area, the contact area. They're a good team, and they put us to bed.
James, you've heard it's a trait with the Wallabies over a few years that you have one good test against the All Blacks, but then you fall off on the other one, particularly when the second one at Eden Park.
Yeah, there's a lot made of Eden Park in there. I keep saying it's the same size as the one we played in last week, but clearly there's something in the grass or something. But look, it's their spiritual home, and they tend to grow a league here. But we need to start well. We need to start well, and we gave away a penalty and a yellow card early, and it put us under the pump. And so, look, we're talking about. I thought our preparation was excellent this week. We needed to be able to put the All Blacks under pressure early, and I'd imagine no All Black wants to be part of the first team to lose at Eden Park, and try and squeeze and stress them, but we weren't able to.
So, what did you make of the Sam Whitelock try?
Yeah, it looked dodgy to me, but ref called a try on the field. They couldn't see anything to overrule it, so I'm not convinced it was a defining moment.
Anything else in the room, guys?
Looking ahead though, you've got some really tough spring tour fixtures coming up. What's the team looking to do to improve performances? I mean, France and Paris and Ireland and Dublin, both teams have beaten the All Blacks over the last 18 months. Is it quite a big bar to jump over in playing those two teams?
Exciting, eh? That's why we're doing it. We're only down to have 3 games on this tour. We've added in Scotland at the start and Wales at the end, so it's a tough tour. But as we've talked about, we need to play a lot of footy. We've got a lot of young men who, the more we play, the better. Heading into a World Cup year, and we're going to go over there without any of our Japanese boys. So again, more opportunity for others. Look like Lalakai, Fekete may miss the tour as well. But it's going to help us create depth in various positions. So, incredibly disappointed tonight, because we're better than that. But as I said, we've got to front at our best, and we're going to play some really good sides over in Europe, and it's going to be good for us.
You're excited. Do you understand why Wallabies fans might be scared?
Yeah, well, we'll judge it on how we go over there, I guess. But look, this is what we've got to do. We've got to play the best and perform regularly. So that'll be the focus going into Europe.
How do you reflect on the Rugby Championship as a whole for you?
Oh, it's a mixed bag on it. We had a couple of good performances in there, or two, maybe three good performances, and 3 under par. So, yeah. When do we get back?
Who do you get back?
Most of the guys who got out injured are long term. They won't be returning until next year. So, Karevi and Cooper, Parisi, Rob Leota, Faketi now. I'm not sure, and probably a couple others.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, Tom Banks. Well, Tom Banks hopefully might be back in time. But.
I guess the obvious one might be back.
Yeah. Well, he's a wait and see. We've been in constant communication with Hoops, and we'll let everyone know what the plan is over the next couple of weeks.
Do you feel like the gap between yourself and All Blacks different between two teams? The same, wider, comparable to last year?
No. Like I said, we've got to be at our best to be competitive with sides like the All Blacks, and you saw that last week. So that's the goal. We've got to get that into us week in, week out, and you go into a World Cup, you have a great performance one week, you have poor one the next, and you're out. So it's the shifts we need to make.
Anything else in the room, guys? We can jump online if there's any questions online.
Dave, sorry, Jeff. Just some housekeeping, Dave, to begin with. I think you made mention that none of our boys are coming on the spring tour, Japanese boys. But is Bernard Foley and Tom Banks separate to those two, and is it just likely Marika that won't be going?
Good question. Bernard's chance. Tom is technically still contracted here until the end of the year, so if he's fit, he'll be available. And you're right, Marika will head back. Obviously, Rory has already gone back, and Samu and Quaid are both out injured.
James, I want to ask you about the scrums. Last week you seemed to have the better of the scrums, and tonight looked like there was a bit of a turnaround. Were you disappointed how the scrums went?
Yeah, I think, as we've spoken about, I reckon all areas we struggled with. It really didn't help losing a second rower in the first couple of minutes, and then having quite a few scrums on our try line. So we had to make a few shuffles there, and it was a disappointing performance. We'll put our hands up, and we've got to be better, especially going on to a spring tour.
I think the scrum, as Slips mentioned, was when we were 1 down, we got dominated. When we got back to 8 on 8, I think we had parity, and the scrums were pretty even. Maybe when Slips went off and Bally come on his first test for a little while, we got penalised 2 or 3 times.
And James, in 2014, the Wallabies were in a bit of a rot then, and they clearly go on to make a World Cup final in 2015, roughly, a year out, same sort of circumstances, obviously the same coach going forward. But what hope is there for this Wallabies side in terms of going into a year out from a World Cup?
Oh, there's plenty of hope. The confidence is in the group, definitely, and the staff members. I guess the beauty of the last 3 years is we've been able to blood quite a fair few Wallabies, and they'll just continue to grow. But I think our biggest aspect we need to improve on is the consistency. We manage to put in a good performance and then back it up with a poor one. We do that regularly, and that's probably something we need to really work on, because you can't do that at a World Cup. But the bottom line is we're confident. We just got to build some momentum and keep getting better.
And Dave, clearly you were
as you said, beaten in all areas tonight. But how frustrating when you get an incident like the Jed Holloway one in the first minute that looks a hell of a lot like the Tyrell Lomax one a week earlier. Just the frustrations around consistency.
Yeah. Oh, look, I just reckon it's such a tough game to referee at the moment. We've got the game takes forever to play because you have a TMO chipping in as well, and it's messy in it. It's not a great product. So but look, you just got to take it on the chin. We we weren't good enough tonight, and we're not looking to blame the officials.
Last couple online, please, guys.
Dave, injury-wise, you mentioned Lalakai was out for the rest of the year. Could you kind of explain what happened to him tonight and how long you think overall?
I'll leave it for someone who's got a medical degree to explain it probably, but it's a shoulder injury and it could require an operation.
Okay, and obviously you've had a lot of injuries this season. There's been some talk around, the preparation and strength and conditioning. Do you think you're getting the best results out of that department at the moment, or do you think there perhaps is an issue to be looked at there?
Oh, I think we've got some of the best in the world. So collision sport, and if you look at the injuries we had tonight, that's the issue in it. Lalakai was carrying the ball. Jed did a hip pointer tonight where it was a collision. Bernard Foley got knocked out. It's not like we're having a heap of soft tissue injuries. A number of them collision with people landing on someone are doing an ACL or a patella tendon or a whatever. So I got total confidence in the quality of our S&C and our medical staff.
And just one more from me, around mistakes and discipline, which has been a recurrent theme all year, really. How much is that down to something you can fix, and how much is it down to just, say, the All Blacks being so good and putting you under so much pressure tonight? Like, what's the balance there?
Selection, maybe, eh?
Selection, as in the players you're going to select, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, if we've got individuals giving away lots of penalties, maybe it's a selection issue. But you're right, we lost collisions, so you're constantly going backwards. If you've got passive tackles, you give away penalties. At times we'll end up in front of a last man's feet because it's a passive tackle. So obviously there's lots of things. It's a massive focus for us. We put a lot of time into it this week, and still got to be better.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.
All right, thanks, guys.